Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Jordan, and today I'm coming at you with a Scream 4 review. This is the last film so far, at least until Scream 5 comes out. And when it comes out, I'll be doing a review on that. And after this, I'll be doing a ranking, of course. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I might review the TV shows. I just recently rewatched the first season of the TV show, but we'll get to that another time. But anyways, I'm going to start off, of course, the main cast returns. Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox. And, we got a few additions. Hayden Panettiere and Emma Roberts and just a whole bunch of other people. I think Rory Culkin is the name of the Charlie. And there's a whole bunch of other gang of characters. But yeah, those are the ones that are like super important though. This time I'm going to start off with the positives. For the positives, it's definitely the most gory of the Scream franchise for sure. Better kills, even though that's not saying much, because really the kills aren't better, they're just more gorier, therefore making them sort of better. But for the most part, it's the same stab. It's not like the TV show where there's like unique kills, which I hope they change with Scream 5, but we'll see. But anyway, more gore, and I guess for what it's worth, better kills, especially that Olivia kill. That's the best kill in the franchise due to it being the most gory. And we got the Tatum garage death, which is also one of the best as well. But I got to see this movie in theaters. I was born in 2002. I wasn't even alive for the first three, but I was a fan before I saw this movie. So when I saw it in the trailer on TV, basically I had to see it, and that was the first Scream movie I've seen in theaters. And man, so I guess that might give it a special place in my heart. But this is my second favorite Scream movie behind the first one, of course. But yeah, dude, the characters are great still. Dewey and Gail are kind of the same in quality. Sydney is still as badass as ever, kicking Ghostface's ass and shit. And new character Kirby, she's definitely one of the best additions to the franchise. She's probably the best character since Randy. She's kind of like a Randy-esque character. Like, she's bad too, bro. She looks good. She knows all the horror knowledge. She's kind of like a film geek, and really, she's just a great character overall. They really did good with the characters. And Emma Roberts, of course, does a great job playing Jill Roberts. But also the story is pretty great. It's kind of following that same Scream trend of, doing what's, popular in, the slasher franchise at that time, which was reboots. So it kind of takes that reboot theme and runs with it. And, I would say it sort of succeeds. But you'll see in my negatives why I say it sort of succeeds. It does a great job overall. This is still a great movie, but the theme is great. The reboot theme is great. And my next positive is the killer reveals, mostly just Jill's. Charlie was kind of like the lackey. He did commit most of the kills, and I do give him credit for the Olivia kill because that was him, and he committed most of the kills. But Jill is the main mastermind, and man, she's top 3 Scream killers of all time for sure, hands down. That whole plot where like the whole movie you're thinking she's gonna be the new Sydney, the new final girl, and then it just flips it on the head and turns out she's actually one of the killers. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, she's one of the killers, along with Charlie. I was about to say Robbie. Charlie, along with Charlie. And basically her motive is that she wants to become famous by, being a part of the massacre. Basically, they recorded all the murders. They're gonna leak them online and shit. And she was gonna kill everybody and be the sole survivor and, be like, like how people get famous over stupid shit like the Cash Me Outside and who else? Whoa, Vicky, people like that. It's kind of like that, but she's being famous for being the sole survivor, kind of like how Sydney did, but except in this new age it would be more like viral. The murders in which she, were involved in were, recorded and put online, so it's kind of gives a different element, and it would have worked, honestly. I'll tell you why I say it sort of works, in my negatives, of course. Oh yeah, and this is edited in. I forgot to mention the betrayal between Jill and Charlie is actually pretty good, where Jill turns on Charlie, and basically the whole plan, Charlie thought they were both going to survive together, but Jill in the end decided to kill Charlie, obviously, so she could be the sole survivor. That was her plan all along. She was basically tricking Charlie, and basically she was supposed to stab him in the shoulder, and he was obviously tricked, and she was trying to kill him the whole time, so she just stabbed him in the heart. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, that's all for now. If I think of any more positives, I'll definitely bring them up at the end of the video, but for now I'm going to get into the negatives. The first negative is the color grading. I don't know, it looks like somebody just smeared Vaseline on the lens. Like, it's weird. I feel like it obviously had to been intentional, but regardless, I don't know, it wasn't a very good, decision. And the next negative is, well, it has the worst opening scene. It is one of the best Scream movies, because out of all four, obviously I said it's my second favorite. It's the second best in my opinion. Not so far above Scream 2, but they're neck and neck. I love them both, but I love Scream 4 a little more. But yeah, the opening scene, it loses points for not having the same exact effect as the other ones. The first one is arguably one of the greatest movie openings of all time. Definitely the greatest opening in slasher history for sure. And then you got the second one, and oh yeah, let me go back to that. They also kind of do the little switcheroo where they market the whole movie as Drew Barrymore being like, you think she's gonna be the main character, but then she gets killed off in the beginning of the film, and it's just this shock, like, oh my god, Drew Barrymore dies in the first 11 minutes, and damn, anybody can die at this point. And then in the second one, they got another set of really well-known actors at that time in Hollywood. Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith. And then in the third one, it's not so much the actor, but it's one of the main characters of the series, Cotton Weary. He dies in the opening. And then it gets to this one, and it has the multiple fake outs. And then when it gets to the actual scenes, it loses that impact on, they're not well-known actors. They're not, well-known characters in the franchise. So it's just overall the worst opening scene, but I still do love it. The Scream franchise, I love basically all these movies and even the openings, but this is unfortunately just the worst out of all of them. And then the other negative is, well, there's no creative kills. It's just, even though it's more gore, it's all still just stabbings. There's not much ingenuity, if that's the right word, or uniqueness. He's just using the buck knife the whole movie, just like he usually does. And I don't know, man, I hope they really do switch it up in Scream 5, which there's supposed people that saw the movie already and then put reviews, but I'm not sure how legit it is, but they said it's definitely gonna be like he gets tired of his knife a few times, so I'm really happy to see that. But yeah, man, I just really hope that new movie takes notes from this TV series. That's one thing that the TV series did really well, was having unique kills. So that's a negative. All he does is stab. And then of course another negative is the hospital ending. It's kind of stupid, because Jill she's one of the smartest Ghostface, and then she does this whole plot, and then it gets to the end of the movie, and she finds out Sydney's still alive, and she just decides to try to go kill her as if she won't get caught. I don't know. It's just stupid. It really is just kind of dumb. like it doesn't. It's not that annoying. It's not unbelievable, but it kind of takes away from like, oh damn, really? Like, does she think she's gonna get away with this now? I doubt it. But yeah, it's kind of a nitpick. I still love the ending regardless, but it's not like a super great ending. But then, there's no clear, like, the last negative, or actually I got two more negatives. There's not really too much of a clear lead, because I don't know, it seems like they're trying to put the spotlight on these new characters, which I don't disagree with in the slightest, but then they also kind of have it equally on everyone, and you're not sure really who is the main character, and then a lot of them do end up dying by the end of the film, so it's kind of like, what was the point? Like, you should have focused more on at least one character, give us a lead, as that's usually how it's supposed to be at the end of the day. And also, one thing I should have said this, first, it's kind of a nitpick, but in the scene where like Jill is clearly still locked up in her house, and Charlie is basically at the Stabathon, and Gail is there, and the killer's there, and obviously we know Charlie's the killer, and Jill's at home, so he's the only one that could possibly be. There's a little weird shit, like crap with the editing, where in one scene it'll show Ghostface doing something, and then in the next scene it'll show did I say Robbie? Charlie. It'll show Charlie unmasked and just not in the Ghostface costume, and it's kind of jarring because it's like right next to each other. And it's like, okay, how is he, doing these switcheroos? It doesn't make too much sense. I think they could have did a little bit better cutting that, is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of like a nitpick. But yeah, overall, the cast was great. Sydney, obviously, greatest final girl of all time. She did great in this film, as always. Shout out to Neve Campbell. David Arquette is Dewey. He's pretty good. I like him better than Gale. He's, out of the big three, he's my second favorite. Gail was great as well. Hayden Panettiere, she was really great. I really do hope they bring her back either in Scream 5 or in a future Scream. Emma Roberts was great. Jill, again, top 3 killers, top 2 for me at least. And the cops, they were okay. The one chick, the one that got kind of a crush on Dewey, I forgot her. Oh, it's Hicks. That's her name, Hicks. She's okay. There's theories that she might be the killer in Scream 5, but we'll see. She was great. She had that little creepy hallway scene. So I don't know. Olivia, the character Olivia, was pretty good. She's pretty much there to die. The most gruesome death. Yeah, man. Overall, the cast is pretty good. This might be the best one since the first and second movie. Again, this is my second favorite in the franchise, but overall, this is a great movie, and I'm definitely gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's definitely almost up there, with that first Scream movie for me. Some people don't like it, which I cannot wrap my head around. Some people say it's worse than Scream 3, which is just actually fucking ridiculous. I can't even wrap my head around that. It's definitely top 2, top 3 of the Scream franchise, and it's the most consistent franchise, so I will give it that. Even more than the Halloween franchise, which is my favorite, it's definitely the most consistent out of all the franchises in slasher history. But regardless, that's all, man. I might do this TV series season 2 season 1, season 2, and season 3. And I'll probably do more Scream videos, like ranking the killers, ranking the movies, and probably include the TV series in that as well, which would, I feel like that'll add a little more uniqueness to the ranking. But yeah, I think my next video is going to be the Halloween 1978 review. I at least want to get that out before Halloween Kills come out, and then review that. And that's about it, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That really means the world to me. It gets my video out into the algorithm. You don't know how much it actually means to me. But anyway, have a nice day, guys. Bye. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the scene that when Jill basically injures herself, and that also goes hand in hand with her whole little plan. Basically her injuring herself. That's a classic scene. Definitely one of the highlights of the movie. I forgot to mention that. You know, whole scene of her doing it to frame Trevor and Robbie for the murder, basically injuring herself so it'll look like she was attacked while everybody's dead. You know, that's a whole classic scene. But anyway, with that being said, have a nice day, guys. See you in the next one.